So what up, Joe? How you doing today?
What's up, man? How's it going?
All good, man. We were just talking right before we got on about
Yeah.
getting up and on those leg days.
Right? Getting up when you don't want to, you got sleep in your eyes still and you're trying to walk into the gym. Dude, it's like sometimes you just like black out,
Yeah,
and you just end up at the gym and you're like, well, I'm here.
yeah, I'm
So I
here
might as
now.
well yeah, I might as well walk in, you know?
Oh yeah, because I'm one of those guys like I can't go to the gym for like 15, 20 minutes because I kind of people watch.
Yeah.
So I'll see guys come in like right after me, and then I'll be like in the middle of a set, and I look up and they walking out the door. I'm like, you didn't get nothing done, man.
Yeah.
You already here. Why not just get it knocked out?
Right, right. Or you were there longer than you thought, you know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah,
you just
true.
been doing your thing because sometimes you look at the clock and like, what time is it? Like, I gotta
Yep.
get home. I'm gonna get in
Yeah,
trouble
I'll
for
look
being out.
because I get to the gym about 4:45, and the
Oh,
gym
okay.
no, the gym don't open up till 5 o'clock. So I get to working out. And I look up, it's like 6:30. I'm like, oh snap!
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
this time. This time to go.
Right.
Yeah. So hey, been looking at your content, man. I love it, dude. You have a camera that I've been wanting, that Sony A7. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
that's what I want. Like,
Yes.
but dude, your content is amazing. And I was like, you know what? I gotta have this guy on and I want to talk to him and just get your story, man. Like, see like what got you into hunting, and then
Yeah.
also I saw you were a bodybuilder. So I'm a big fan of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I want to ask you some questions about that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Heck yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah.
No, I appreciate it, dude. I just got that camera. I honestly just started posting probably like May, like consistently. Like I guess hunting wise, I started I think 2022 season will be my sixth whitetail season, but I hunted five of those.
Yeah.
So 5 of those years, so 6 years. But um, so yeah, I kind of jumped into the camera sort of like haphazardly, sort of. I mean, I had back in college, I had this old Canon Rebel, and I took that thing everywhere. I took photos, and it was the best. And like, I don't know, I just wanted to get into something this year that was outside of work that kind of went along with the hunting and shooting and stuff. And um, the camera is great. It has exceeded expectations, I think. So definitely, it's worth it for sure. Um, but like the hunting piece, I grew up uh, not from a hunting family,
Nope.
on either
Same
side.
here.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so being in the outdoor space now is kind of crazy because I'm sure you see it, like it's a legacy sport. I mean,
Oh, yep.
it's I think maybe getting away from that like good old boys kind of club, but it's definitely a strong, there's a strong presence there with you know generations of hunters that's just passed down. So my father-in-law is actually who got me into it. I always saw him hunting um, while I was dating my now wife and stuff, and I was always interested. And and one day I was just like, yeah, I want to go out. I want to go out with you sometime. And he's like, yeah, yeah, we'll go out. And he's this old school Italian concrete guy. So like just like paint the picture.
Okay.
And he's like just just like kind of gruff and just like old school with it. So he took me out. He'd been hunting since he was like 10.
Oh, dang.
And I
He
was like,
he a vet in the game.
yeah, yeah. He's like, you can't tell me anything, which he's not wrong. Uh, but I went out with him, and I was like nervous, and I was like, everything I see, it was just so foreign. And that first night, I hunted a box blind with him in this old cornfield, and it was like I think it was the weekend of Halloween, if it wasn't Halloween itself that year. And it was wild, man. It was like pre-rut. I didn't even know what pre-rut was. There was just chasing, and the field like blew up. It was like a magic hour happened, and just it was wild. And I was like, wait, it's like this every time, And he's like, no. He's like, no, no, no. He's like, this is a good turnout. Um, So like, yeah, man, he's who got me into it. He's who I hunt with now. Like he's my primary guy. Um, he's still doing his thing, 60, 61, just out there crushing it. He's doing a lot of Western state stuff now.
Oh, nice.
Um, and for me, I'm in Ohio. So, we got cornfields, we got some hills and stuff, but like Western states, crazy, man. You know, those guys, like I've got like immense respect for those guys, and the guys I've met. Last year was my first year doing a Western state hunt. I did a archery elk hunt out there in New Mexico.
Oh, how was that?
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. It was, I mean, for me, I've never been west, so it was awesome to see just be out there, the
Yep.
mountains, the no light pollution. That was awesome. I fell in love with that place out there. The hunt was crazy. I mean, from a tree stand hunter, ground blind hunter kind of guy going out there, and I'm like, we gotta do what? Like,
Spot and
we're
stop.
going, yeah. And so it was, man, it was so fun. The first day, base camp was like at 6,000 feet, and it was cool. It was all these guys and the guides that were there. And I'm not allowed to forget to mention the guides this time because I forgot the last time. But it's Hunters, New Mexico, great guys. Eddie Ortiz, that Eddie Ortega. So I got to put that out there because he's awesome, man. They put us on so many different bulls, and we saw stuff, and it came down to an experience on my end. But I'll tell you about it.
Oh yeah,
But it was killer, man. It was just so different. Yeah, it's just something else being out there. Mountains, the terrain, and then the elevation. I think the first day I was like 10,000, and I swear to God, man, I rucked going into it. I'm still weight training and stuff going into it. I was trying to cut calories a little bit leading up to September just because I was like, I know I'm not going to be able to just be like smashing food, the entire day.
yeah,
So,
yep.
so I'm like, well, go into a little bit of a maintenance calorie type situation going into it. But yeah, I was probably an hour in to the first like climb, and I'm just like, I'm trying not to sound like I'm breathing too heavy. Like the guide's up in front of me, he's just trucking. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. And then you get acclimated, you get your legs and you're moving, and you're like, okay, I can do this. You just gotta pace yourself. It's not a hill in Ohio.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was the same way. So last year, me and my co-host Rex, he's actually gonna hop on here in a little bit.
Awesome.
We went out to Colorado. So
Yeah.
he's been out there several times. I think
Yeah.
he's killed a bear and a cow.
Okay.
So he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go.
Yeah.
Cool, let's get it." So I live in South Dakota, so I had to
Okay.
drive 12 hours to where we were hunting at in Montrose.
Okay.
So we literally drive there, we meet up, we get in his truck, we drive to the first like trailhead, and we're like, let's go. Mind you, we both been driving all night. So but we were so excited, we was like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Pull over, boom, get the trailhead, throw our gear on, and
Yeah.
start hiking up. Joe, I thought I was in shape.
Right.
You said the first hour. I was the
Yeah.
first 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was probably the first 15, man. I just for an hour, I was like, I don't know, man. I think I made a mistake.
Yeah, I started second guessing myself, and I looked at him.
Yeah.
I said, I think I'm gonna die here. I said, my back is burning, my legs are burning. I was like, I
Yes.
can't do this. It's like,
Yeah.
let's back out, go set up camp, and just get some sleep and hit it in the morning.
Right.
And the trip turned out good.
Yeah.
It was same thing with you, just a lack of inexperience on my part. We were
Yeah.
walking through an aspen grove.
Yeah.
Didn't see nothing. There was nothing. And we was kind of cow clawing, but nothing's calling back. And then like boom, we look to the left, and this bull's coming running in. We brain jump, he's at 80 yards. And by the time we could get set up, I mean,
Yeah.
he had closed in at like 30, and he was
Oh, yeah.
behind this bush. And I'm like, oh, it's on. So
Yep.
get the full draw, and he like just take one more step, buddy. That's all you got to do. Just one more
Yep.
step, and we can go home.
Yeah.
And he kind of holds up, and I could feel the wind change to the back of my neck. Went right to
Yep.
him, and man, he was gone. And I was like, and we didn't see another bull the rest of the week.
No, I mean, goosebumps, dude. I swear they have like a sixth sense or something. They come trucking in, and then it's like they slam those brakes on. They just come just enough, just in the bow range, and then it's like I don't know. It's like they know something isn't right. Something's weird, and they just wait. And hey Rex,
what up, Rex?
What's up, Joe?
How's it going,
dude? It's going great. I just got back from a run, an impromptu run. My neighbor asked me. I was like, you know what? I gotta do it. Good. I gotta do it, man. Yeah. And I'm sorry I shouldn't have been late to a podcast. That's terrible, but it was for a good reason. Good. It was for a real good reason.
Acceptable. Yep.
Hey, I was just telling him about the first day we got to Colorado and we started hiking up there. I was like,
man,
I'm about to die, man.
Yeah, we did a test mountain. That was a test mountain, and I almost lost you. It was tough. It was close. What's up, Joe? You got a quiver on your back? You ready to go, dude?
I got my my Kafaru little hip quiver right there.
Attached to your chair.
Harness. Yeah, it just slung over it.
Sick. You look like you were strapped up.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just about to ask him about that. I was like, wait a minute, he got his quiver on. He ready to go at all times.
Right here. Yeah. This is all my stuff. My wife has limited me to like 20 square feet probably of the whole house. So
I got
where everything's at.
That's all I got. So if I have any more than that, it's bad. It gets bad.
Yeah. I gotta
fill it.
My garage is full. So I just bought another 100 duck decoys. Got them at a garage sale. $80 at a garage sale.
Wow.
But I gotta paint them though. So
they look bad, huh?
Yeah, they kind of roughed up, but hey, none little spray paint won't help.
Joe, you duck hunt at all, or have you ever?
No. I met a guy through Instagram. He's telling me it's the best thing ever.
It's another money pit, yeah. If you want in, man, it's it is a lot of fun though. What I'm coming in late. Sorry, how long have y'all been going? About 13 minutes. Not too terribly long.
I know, good, man.
Oh, okay. What So have we talked about when you got into hunting? Have we gone through that? Are we?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure where I cut you guys off and kind of threw it all off, but
no. We were just talking about dying.
Yeah, dying out in Western hunting.
Dying. The death. You're the Flatlander death.
Yes.
My dad tried to buy that canned oxygen. Have you seen those in stores that they sell in Colorado? It's like a cylinder with a little mask on it like that, and you hold it. You take like a little hit. You just like a little aerosol can of oxygen. Yeah. It's crazy.
I haven't seen them here, but I've heard of them.
Yeah, man, it's a thing. Anyway, yeah, I would never carry that on the mountain, but some people, it feels pretty gnarly getting up there for the first time and really hoofing it.
Yeah.
It's no joke.
It's definitely rough, man. But so Joe, you said this is your sixth season?
So this is my sixth year. I didn't really hunt much in 2020, but it'll be my like fifth, real year.
Hunt season. So did you just have you like done no hunting leading up to this year's hunt season, or did you get in like spring turkey or
this year?
Yeah, this year.
This year spring turkey, and it's probably just because it was me. I didn't see any toms at all. It was hens coming in and nothing. But I only sat probably like 3 or 4 sits in spring. But it was just weird, man. I took the bow. It was the first year I took the bow, so that's probably why. I had a bearded hen come in. So no bow would have been good to go, but just kind of out there. But it was still fun. Sat some like timber edges and stuff over like clover, tried to catch them like midday moving. Nothing. You could hear them, but nothing.
Nice.
So
I spooked more than I had a chance to shoot. I think walking in just like scaring the shit out of them.
Well, I know, it's like you think you're getting in there early enough too. You can't see anything, and I'm like, it sounds like on one of the days it sounded like they were already down off the roost. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
my luck, I'd be driving out and I look on private land and they're all up in the trees roosting and I'm like, oh sweet. Like I'm just right over here. Just come on, walk on down and
Yeah.
nothing. Like
No.
it's like it
And
makes me hate it. Like, like
Right.
I don't have any success in it, but you know, like you know what? It's hunting, so you just gotta keep grinding it out, man.
there's an art to it for sure. There's some people that just do it every year, they get it done. And I really don't. I haven't gotten it yet at
Yeah.
all. Joe, did you, you're what do they call it? A late bloomer hunter. You're a guy that kind of got
Yes.
into it. Trey, your dad, he hunted, like, so you were kind of exposed to it at a younger age, but you never really went. It wasn't something that you did a
No,
lot.
hell no, he never take me. So you know, like it started like when I was like 8, I want to go bad. You know what I'm saying? And you know, living in Texas, Friday nights, you know, we're at the football games during the fall. So we get home after the game. I'm like, hey, can I go hunt with you? Nope. Well, okay, yeah, whatever. So then he finally told me, yo, if I'll get you a BB gun. If you can shoot that, then we'll get you a rifle. Then we'll see what you can do. Every day after school, I'm coming home, shooting my BB gun all the way up until the next hunting season. Still nothing. So I'm like, man, I'm playing football. I'm not even worried about hunting no more. I'm done with this.
Yeah, and I mean, and on the flip side, I don't remember not hunting. I don't remember. Yeah, I remember I think I rediscovered hunting. I guess you could say it's not even like it was like there was a point where I realized what I was doing was somewhat novel compared to what a lot of people were doing. And then there was a time when I didn't think about it. My dad just came and snagged me. We went and shot ducks, shot deer, squirrels, whatever. Like it was just like it was normal. But did you have a perception uh, growing up in Akron? Like is that, I mean, is there a lot of hunting in that part of Ohio, or is that a pretty populous like place?
So yeah, Akron is for sure. Akron's like metropolitan,
I
basically.
got you.
You know, and I'm like 30 minutes or so, 35 from like Cleveland. So obviously,
Oh,
there's
I got
nothing
you.
like. Um, there's a lot of good spots like in southern Ohio.
Yeah.
And the spot that I'm lucky enough to hunt with my father-in-law is like a nice spot. It's up in towards Cleveland area, but it's like rural. It's nice.
Right.
But no, not you know. It's not like you're going to school and all the kids are hunting and you know everyone the school lets out for opening day and stuff like that. Like I've heard of
Right.
that,
Yeah.
but no.
That's why. I mean, yeah, it used to happen like that. My dad was talking about people driving to school with you're with guns on your rack behind you in your pickup truck,
Yeah,
and I was just like,
Like,
what?
yeah, you try
Wow.
that shit today.
Oh Lord,
right.
I can imagine the golden years, I guess. So yeah, so you didn't. It's not like something that you had a perception of, or even really knew anybody who really hunted, aside from your father-in-law now, right?
Yeah, I think there was one of my dad's friends, family friends, so I knew he hunted. Um,
Yeah.
he like went to West Virginia and stuff and hunted every season, but no, not really.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, it's super interesting to hear people's like kind of like journeys into it, because it's a big. I'm realizing now, even going public land, going from like I grew up with leases, or like Trey's dad had a place to go hunt. Like it wasn't a thing. And so many of my friends that I know, you just had a lease, like you had somewhere you could go where it was kind of your own, and you went hunting. And then like to kind of jump into it, like it was good that you had that kind of connection and had that lease to kind of help you out. But like a lot of the time I feel like these, like, I don't know, they talk about hunter recruitment all the time and how tough that is. And it's, to be honest, I think it's daunting to try to get out and try to find some place you can actually go do it. Like it seems like the
Yeah,
biggest hurdle.
public land is
Hmm.
it's rough, man. It's every man for himself. It's every man for himself and God for us all. When
Right.
it comes
Yeah.
to that hunting, that public, man.
What
Yeah,
well, tell us about the lease, man. Or whatever place you've got you can hunt.
yeah.
Like where this is where you
So
you spent your formidable years
yeah,
hunting, right?
any experience I have like whitetail wise,
Has been
this
here.
is it. Yeah, yeah. Um, so it's in Columbia Station, which is just small, like a small township kind of
Yeah.
in outside of Cleveland. Um, but my father-in-law did some work for some cement work. I was telling Trey, he's this like old school Italian guy.
Yeah.
Uh, So like enough said, like you can see him
no,
already.
I got him. I can hear him.
Yeah. You can hear his forearms are this big, it's
yeah.
and so he did some concrete work for the husband, the farmer. And I think just from doing work and doing some maintenance stuff for him, he was like, hey, do you have anybody hunt the property? And that's how it started for him. And
Just ask, man.
Yeah, he was just basically like property manager of this. It's like 400 acres or just under. It's beautiful. I mean, and then the farmer passed away, and so his wife is still there, and she is like exactly like a Ohio hunter, little old lady. Like she's like this tiny, like just tough as nails, super nice, but just she makes jokes like if you're out, and you're packing up on like a November day, like midday, you're packing up to leave, she'll give you shit for it. She'll say,
Couldn't
hey, what are you doing? Like, yeah, they're still out there, or I had them in my front yard. And
that's
you're like,
awesome.
But
she's in there sipping tea.
Yeah, I was just watching them,
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
It's beautiful, man. It's got let's see. Usually he plants. My father-in-law still does all the prep work and everything for it.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I think he does like end up 15 acres between all crop. So corn, soy, clover, radishes, stuff like that. Your typical, mid, early, late season food stuff.
The is it creek? I mean, it's fairly open then, or are there creek bottoms, or is it? Is there some timber on it? Like, yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's a nice mix. It's got an upper section and a lower section. Lower section, there's a swamp. There's a river that runs through, like a pretty decent sized river that runs the perimeter.
Nice.
Some floodplain, and then timber, basically that is like funneling all of those areas up. So it's got, I mean, if you want to hunt timber, you can hunt timber. If you want to hunt a field edge or in a field, a ground blind, a box blind, elevated, like you can do basically everything there, which is awesome. So it gets me experience, with hang on stands. It got me experience in a blind. It got me some elevated blind, some ladder stand stuff, So I got a taste of everything there.
Yeah.
Basically, so.
Have you gotten into the saddle hunting yet?
No, and I like kind of want to. It just seems like super useful. Like you don't have to have a perfect like telephone pole tree, and you can just like toss it up, look for some signs, scout in, and then like toss it up would be awesome. I talked to somebody at the range the other day about like your rope coming through, like your line coming through, and like trying to like what side is the bow on, and like drawing through that and stuff, and just that's my only
weak side, strong. I think they call it weak side, strong side.
Yeah,
this will only be year. I mean, technically one. Like I took it up the very like last half, and I don't know how long y'all's bow season runs, but in Arkansas it's like half the year. So like we got from into September into like February, end of February.
Same.
Oh, y'all got a late one. See, yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
See, I got screwed here. We
you
go
did,
September to January.
I've been telling you, come on down. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all get bitterly cold, man. Y'all get nuts so cold up there. So you almost have to do it out of safety. Like y'all don't get up in trees when it's negative.
I did. No,
degrees.
last year. I'll send you a video. I was in a tree. It was -1.
How long? Just enough to get a picture, and you're like, yeah.
No, I was not. To about noon.
That's pretty good.
After my nose and eyes were frozen shut.
Oh, I remember seeing that. I remember you seeing like snot frozen on your nose. That was wild. It gets cold up there, man. South Dakota's nuts. Oh. But yeah, February, I mean, I'd say January, I picked one up. I probably got in 3 trees, if that, you know what I mean? And sat, variable amounts of time. Saw 1 deer, I think, out of all 3 sits. 1 was way off, but I'm a fidgety guy, I guess, in the stand. Like I need somewhere to kind of. I think I've realized I'm going to do it big and really try it out again because I've got all the equipment. But I just like the idea of being able to sit, and chill in a stand. I don't know. I just get I just move too much, I think, if I'm standing like that or kneeling.
Yeah. No, that's my thing is I feel like I do too.
Yeah, standing is. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Or just some people do it without platforms; they just kneel against that tree and stuff. It'll be an adventure. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where you can put stuff. Where you can get. Do you see stuff like that on your property where you're like, I wish I could get in that. Like that's the tree I need to get into. Like, why am I not?
100%.
Yeah,
100%. And I've even talked to him about the saddles. He's like, I don't know, man. He's like,
Yeah.
I just hunt them. I just hunt those stands that are up. I'm like, yeah.
It's nice, man. I mean, that's a good problem to have. Like I got, you did the work, you put everything up in the tree, you just go hunting, man. Like that's something that's really nice about having a lease land where you can just go do it,
Yeah.
not have to worry about mobility and stuff. But we'll see. We'll see if it pays off this year. I'm going to give it a go. And you can keep us updated too. Yeah, if you jump into that world.
Yeah.
Do you guys think like is that what attracts people to Western hunting? Is it's not just sitting in a tree stand or not just sitting in the ground blind, that you're actually up moving around?
100%. Yeah. Is that what drew you? You think, Joe? You just recently went out west, right? Like for the first time.
Yeah, first time last September.
Yeah.
For me, it's like probably like the ADD, trying to sit in a tree stand, and like,
right.
I remember the first time I sat with him, he was in the blind. He's like, "You're moving too much," and I'm like, "All right." And he's like, "You're making too much noise," and I'm like, "I didn't even say anything," but he's not wrong.
There's something to it. No, I'm with you.
Just a little bit. It's just outside of that acceptable threshold that he has, and that's why he's killed what he's killed.
Right. No, I mean, and I'm gonna pick on you, Trey. Like I remember us walking into that place near Texarkana. What Sulphur
River.
We were walking, and it was something about your pants, man. Your pants were swishing. And I was like, or no, maybe it was that first time we went elk hunting, maybe. Or no, it was Sulphur River. I think
because I had the all perps on.
Yeah, that's right. You had the leather loafers. He had the leather ankle high loafers
on. Church shoes on,
church
man.
Shoes on. Lord. At least we were out there. That's what matters. But yeah. It's like you don't realize how much noise it is until you're up in the stand doing something and you see that deer just perk up, from the moment you do something silly, man. Like you try to move in your seat and it's something almost imperceptible, and they're like, they're on it, so
they're on. Yeah.
That's why I started like with my ground blinds. Like I started like raking leaves out, and then I'll get like the like those moving blankets you can get at like Harbor Freight or any Lowe's.
Oh,
and I put a moving blanket on the floor, and that way I can move and I'm not crunching leaves, I'm not crunching any branches, just kind of just sitting.
How did we get off on? We were talking about Western hunting, and then we got onto quietness. How do we get to that? We were talking about you Western hunting, and then I think we got off track.
I just want being ADD in the stand.
And being able to move around. Yeah, that's kind of like the draw. Is you can kind of mess that up a little bit. It's almost advantageous too sometimes to sound like another animal, or
Yeah, no, I mean that's give me something else to do that's like within that physical realm piece. Like I there's an art to the whitetail. Like the whole sort of like, I don't know, whitetail doctrine. Like there's definitely
Eastern whitetail kind of that. Clip.
Yes. Yeah. Specifically. Yeah. And then out West, being able to move, being able to hike, like something that gets you, I don't know, the pursuit I think was the most interesting.
Or like the feeling of pursuit. Like, I mean, you're pursuing game regardless, but you actually feel like I can do something to kind of, impact what I'm doing. Like I can go hunt. I feel like I'm hunting harder, whether you are or not. I mean, but it's a perception, and and a lot of the times, you're beating boot leather and really trying to cover some ground just to find game. So it's that perception of I'm doing something to make this happen. That I guess that's your crossover with fitness, right? Like that's kind of where you're like, I can become stronger and in essence like faster and more your aerobic kind of fitness. Like I can hit these mountains a lot harder than I already am, and be more successful in kind of that way.
So like Joe, have you noticed like the hunting world and the fitness world are kind of colliding here lately?
Yeah,
big time. I'm assuming that's why, right? Because you're trying to up your game. You're trying to become better at what you're doing.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I think there's a correlation. I think the people are seeing like they might be able to, I don't know the Cam Hanes quote that's in his book, but about outworking, being able to outwork somebody. But I think you can outwork that natural like learning curve, especially for new guys like myself. Your guys that are under those 10 years in, you need every opportunity you can, whether that's you're shooting more, or you're lifting or doing more cardio, more stair mill, or you're rucking more. I think people see there's probably a direct benefit. Even veteran guys, that they go out and do that year after year. I mean, I think they see like it can make it easier on them from perceived level of exertion going out there and doing what they have to do to be successful on a mountain.
Yeah, I think like the days of the lazy bow hunter or the lazy whitetail hunter, that's going out the window now. I think everybody's getting in shape, and when you got guys like Cam Hanes and Dan Stanton, Dan Stanton with elk shape, I mean those guys are really driving the force. Like, hey, get out and there is no off season anymore. We're constantly in season, getting in shape and adding all that to the prep for the season.
Yeah.
So like, what does your prep look like, Joe? Like from the time deer season or hunting season ends, everything in the middle up to the next hunt season. What are you doing to get ready?
So like, I feel like I go through like periods of like bulk and cut, just like that traditional like lifting scheme where you're trying to pack on weight and then you're trying to maybe preemptively cut going into something. Since last year was my first year out, I wasn't sure what the best method for me would be. Should I go in a little lighter, make it easier on myself? Should I go in heavy, knowing I'm going to drop weight out there just with the deficit of food? So I guess end of hunting season, like whitetail, I was in like a bulk last year. So I guess you'd have to go the year prior, but the year prior to that, I would have been going into a bulking through the winter, and then going into like maybe like a 3-month like maintenance or something like that. But then leading into September, see when would I have started? Like maybe May, maybe like May. Start increasing calories, so adjusting my macros, bumping the protein, and I guess training like with the purpose of bulking, putting on like lean tissue, and a little bit of fat is for me is okay because I know that'll be the first thing to go there.
A little buffer,
just a little bit, because I'm only doing like 1 week at a time. Like I'm not out there for like 2 weeks. So it's good. I can still put like carbs and stuff like that in my pack, which I felt like I was good. I didn't feel like I was probably just everything going on. I didn't feel like I had to like sit down or I was missing, meals or calories or anything. But then like I was telling you, Trey, before you jumped on, Rex, was I slowly backed myself from increase calories back down to maintenance calories. So I went from a surplus to maintenance basically.
Okay.
In August.
Right. The month leading up to it, really.
Yeah.
I got
just because I didn't want to cut, but I wanted to have maintenance calories. I backed my intensity on those lifts down. So 5 or 6 day lifts, traditional like 1 or 2 group schemes for the day. And that's from a lifting perspective what I did, because I was trying to mitigate injury, but keep enough in shape, but not kill myself and have an issue. But maintenance calories going in, that way if I had to decrease, it wasn't going to be like shocking while I was there. And then from a cardio perspective, it was like stair mill and rucking. And here I'm only at 1,000 feet, so I mean I could ruck I guess all day and it wouldn't matter. That's what I found out, at least.
Yeah, nothing compares.
No.
You can't. You can only help it a little.
Yeah. Just try to get, I guess, like your ankles used to it, your legs, right. But yeah, like me and Trey were talking about, it's like your legs are on fire. Your first ascent, basically.
Right.
So that's like in a nutshell, kind of what I did last year, and that's what I'm doing this year. But I think I might just ride out high calories. I'm actually ramping up the calories now, so I'm just experimenting. I just want to
see how you feel and see what changes. Did you have a pretty good idea of the type of elevation and like, I mean, the hunt as a workout, I guess, essentially, or as like a performance? Did you keep good track of that to kind of like keep up with it, to kind of compare? Or
just the first day?
Yeah.
Just because I was like, how high are we? Because I was like, we're not at like 4,000 feet and I'm dying, right? The other days I couldn't even tell you. I just know that first day where we were, and also it was obviously the highest that I was at just from what I could see. But the guide, knew exactly where we were at, and base camp, we knew exactly where we were at because it was one of the guide's properties. So that was helpful. But this year, Eddie called me. He owns a guide service out there, Hunters, New Mexico, and he was like, "Oh no, you forgot to mention my name on a podcast, so I'm gonna run you into the mountain."
We're good, man. He's plugged now.
Because I was like,
Say it
no, you don't need to do that. It's hard enough for me, man.
Yeah, he's got plenty of business.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I guess I meant from like, I guess, a workout perspective, like where you keep, like, do you have a fitness tracker? Are you like watching how many calories you're burning each day? Or is this all perceived kind of?
Yeah, no, it was just perceived. I love that data. Like I had when I had an Apple Watch, I loved it. I like thrived off of it. But then I don't know if it's my personality type or what, I like fixate on the numbers and like this workout seemed a lot harder than this workout, but this workout shows this. And so I only probably trained with something like that for like a year, and I don't do it anymore. But food wise, I use MyFitnessPal. Do you guys?
Yeah, I've heard of MyFitnessPal.
Yeah. So I do that. Like if I'm changing macros up, I'll plug it into there, and then I basically eat the same thing, week after week. So it just kind of tracks what variation or what I'm at for the end of the day and week and stuff.
I always fall short
here, man. Go ahead. No, I'm just listening. I'm absorbing, man, because that's not my background. So like, it's fascinating.
I start the year out great, like eating good, working out daily, and as soon as the season starts, then I'm back to eating gas station pizza, energy drink, just getting up and I'm hunting as much as I possibly can, and like I'm not really paying attention to what I'm eating, and I don't want to meal prep because the time I'm spending meal prepping, I could be out in the woods hunting. So like I start the year out looking great, and then hunting season comes, and right before Christmas, I'm all pudgy again. I was like, oh, it's time to start over.
No, it's and that's okay. I think that's fine. Like that variation, that ebb and flow is good. I mean, that's what I try to shoot. Like I try to force myself into that because otherwise, I think I would just be plateauing all the time. I noticed like I can up training at different points, at highs and lows in weight and stuff, and you see aesthetic changes and stuff at different weights, obviously. But I think that's what it's nice about hunting. Like my buddy Joe, he brought me those little Debbie Christmas trees.
Oh,
you guys ever?
And
I would just slam those. Yeah, and I would just slam those, and so I think it's okay.
All is fair in love and war. It's you do whatever you're feeling. I mean, it's like the competition, right? Like you train all year up to that point, and then now it's just like, man, just make it. Just get off the mountain in one piece. Trey made the most disgusting sandwich that I've
please don't hate on my bro, that sandwich was packed full of carbs and energy, man. Calories.
We're going to talk about the ingredients though real quick. We're not going to talk about macros because I just want everyone to hear, our viewers to understand.
I had a cinnamon and raisin bagel.
God.
Little pre-cut spam,
peanut butter
and honey.
And then you threw some cheese on there too.
And cheese.
What was the cheese? It was something weird.
It was one of the mountain cheeses that you had.
Yeah, some hard cheese that I got from Brookshire's. That's like Absolutely. It's not funky, but it's not Swiss, man. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of gnarly. And hot sauce. You put hot sauce on there too, so
Oh yeah, hot
don't
sauce.
at me. Hey, put hot
Yeah,
sauce on there.
and
Oh
mustard.
my. It was
So mustard.
I was watching, like I pulled out my sandwich. I'm just kind of we're taking a break. I'm munching. I look over here and he's hasn't started eating. And I'm like,
I
what
got
is
a
he
whole
doing?
spread, man.
And he's spread out. Yeah, he's got every like, what are you doing, man? What are you putting on that? Oh my God. But he made it.
I
He
made
made it
it,
off the
man. I
mountain,
made
man.
it.
So I can't knock
Hey,
it.
I
It's
promise you, you will see those sandwiches in Mountain House, freeze dried,
Yeah.
spam and bagel sandwich.
oh, it was nuts.
It's like the bagel and the honey. I was like, all right. And then it was like
Peanut
spam
butter,
and
yeah.
hot sauce and peanut butter.
And cheese.
What did it taste like? And the
Good.
cheese.
He said
No
it
way.
tasted delicious.
No,
Yeah.
there's
Hey,
no way.
I'm gonna tell you this how good it was. I ate one every day on the mountain.
Yeah, you did. You
Ate one
did.
every day.
I'm gonna try one of those.
Oh, it was nuts.
It ain't for the weak-hearted, man.
It really he was in a dark place, I think, when he ate that. It was wild.
Man. Hey, and it got me through, man. It got me
Yeah.
through.
Was
That and the Chili Mac
Chili Mac.
Yeah.
Mountain House, man.
People hate on Chili Mac. I love it. Yeah, I'm a fan. We're fans.
Yeah.
Joe, was there a moment when you got on the mountain? I mean, we're rewind. This is your first Western hunt. First, I mean, you not the first time you've probably been to Colorado, but first time you ever went with the intent of killing, or New Mexico, excuse me, killing an animal. Yeah. Was there a moment in time where were you successful? Sorry, let me back up. Were you successful on this trip? Did you end up shooting something or getting some looks?
So here's I say no.
I'm ready for the story, but no, there's a story there.
Story to it. There's a story. I told Trey I'd get into it. And I actually had never been out west like ever. I guess like when I couldn't remember, like when I was like 2 or something.
Oh, okay.
But I had never been out west at all. And yeah, it was the first time. Me and my father-in-law, we drove out there. Took like a couple days, but
beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I went out there, and the first day, what were we? I'm trying to remember the week because we were earlier this year. So we were the second bow season.
I'm not familiar with New Mexico. Is it closer to October? Like, I guess, is it?
It's like we were there end of September.
Yeah. Kind of near muzzleloader season.
I'm sorry, we were there early September. I'm getting it backwards.
No, you're good.
This last time. This year we're later September, which is hopefully more ideal.
Action.
Yeah, and there was temperature variation. Like I wasn't used to. I was cold in the mornings, and then I was dying in the middle of the day. It was just hot. I sat like blinds in the over water for the evening basically because it was just so hot.
Right.
So more like chasing bugles in the morning. That was kind of the scheme, and then sitting over
wallows,
water.
Yeah. Okay.
In wallows. Yeah.
Okay.
So the very first day went up, and I got to see basically what it was all about. The mountain was thick, and you could hear bugling happening. They were bugling back, but they weren't just running and screaming at that point.
Yeah.
And then Monday evening hunt, we didn't have the blind set up, but there was this nice wallow. It was almost like a double wallow, but the one had kind of it was very limited on water, but the other one was solid.
Yeah.
And so the guide had me set up there. And just hunting from the ground in general was just so weird to me. I was just super paranoid about everything. I'm like, okay, don't move at all.
Well, you're not in a blind. There's no yeah.
No cover.
So, no. And I'm like, so how much can they see? And the wind was good. And then the other thing is I felt like the wind swirled more there than here. But so the very first evening this bull comes down off the mountain, and he's got 9 cows with him. And it was awesome. He was awesome. The guide was like, oh, he's 330, 350. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm like, we'll find out. So I'm sitting there, and I also realized,
shoot him.
No, yeah, then you can measure him. And I realized I wasn't like, I'm not flexible at all, I guess. Like from my legs, I'm just like stiff. So I was like sitting, I was like kind of kneeling, like sitting on my like heels.
Yeah.
And
Toes
yeah,
dug in the ground. You're kind of.
yeah. And my
Yeah.
ankle, I don't know. I was not a
It's not.
fan, but
I don't think it's comfortable. I mean, from the age of 6, I don't think you ever sit in that position ever again. You know what I mean? Like, you got kindergartners that
no.
do it all day long, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
Like
get you.
like, sit crisscross right now. It's like, I can't do it. I just
Yeah.
can't do it. So I'm sitting there. He walks down. He's, there's trees in front of us. He doesn't go to the water. The cows are all at the water. He comes down. I'm sitting in like probably the worst place I could be sitting. And I'm like sitting on a slight incline. And so I'm fighting, pushing forward. My bow's over here on my left. So I've got an arrow knocked. The guide is like back to my right. And he's like up. He's in a great spot.
Yeah.
And if we could,
what are you doing down there?
Yeah, he's like, you idiot. But I still could have probably got a shot off. So I draw back. He's stupid close, like your top pin on him. And I go to put my pin right on the crease and, probably go trigger happy and punch it. And there is a cow. He's walking this way. His cow walks this way, right in front of his vitals. There's a tree right here. She goes here. He turns with her. Tree block shot, and then he goes out of range. That was night 1.
No shot.
And I was like,
you didn't take a
no
shot.
shot.
At all.
No shot.
Oh, wow.
I should have shot, but I probably would have shot the cow if,
hey, man.
because
it is what it is. Yeah.
Sitting there with one eye closed. There's so many things I learned in just that one instance. Like, but he leaves. I look at the guide. My heart's like pounding. And the guide's like, that's the bull. You're going to hunt that bull. We're going to hunt that bull. And so every night we would go back to this spot, and he came 3 of 5 nights. And on the last night, on Friday night, he comes down and he's by himself. Every time I saw him, he lost cows.
Yeah.
And I thought he was huge. So I don't know if there's something bigger out there taking his cows. Or
probably getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, that early, I think they just maybe just kind of mill around. I don't think they're too, there's some that may not be that into it yet, and there's some that are into it. I think it's pretty, fluid at that point early. Yeah, that's what I've read anyway, just from a bugling and like aggressive standpoint. It's later that they start to really come in on those kinds of and get aggressive, But anyway,
and that matches what we were seeing. I'm hoping a little bit later, a couple weeks later, is money this year.
You're gonna have the experience you thought, with like him coming into bugles.
Yep.
And, yeah, I got
you. And like you were saying, Trey, about putting a cow call out there, and then all of a sudden they're flying in. It's alarming, like, I guess when they want to be quiet, how quiet and how fast.
For how big they are.
Not missing trees and everything.
Like that one that ran up on me and you, Rex, we didn't, like, he was there.
I literally turned. Trey's in front of me, and we're just we're scooting through. I mean, we're not walking super fast. We're easing through, and I just happened to turn around and look back behind us, and boom, I catch him out of the corner of my eye, and he 60 yards in a couple seconds, just right here, and I was like, damn. I mean, and for having such a massive piece of bone on your head, it's just, I guess it's an appendage to them. They really
they know
aware.
How to maneuver through.
It's so wild.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, a piece of cake. That thing's gonna be just ding, 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 ding all the way down, like the tree line. Yeah, nothing.
When they want to be quiet, they can be quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, and when they want, and that's the other thing. Like when he wants to make noise, it's crazy.
Crashing through everything. Just
yes, I'm like, what is?
Yeah,
they're like monsters. Like, I mean, a white-tailed deer in Ohio, you're like, okay, even a nasty 10, 12 point, you're like, all right, I could take him. But like an elk, it's just so different. The mass, the bone mass, the body mass. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if I want to be on the ground with these things. Like,
right? Yeah. No, I think that adds to like the draw of like Western hunting. You're in big country, and you're hunting huge game. You're not, you don't get 6 tags. You know what I mean? You get one, and it's very low odds for that one, and they're massive, dude. They're just it's like I don't know, it's just almost unreal. It's like not a fairy tale. It's just like these you just don't, I don't know, you don't interact with them every day like that. It's just, you don't have anything to gauge the size. It's like a cow on stilts, and you're just like, this thing's huge. But yeah, it definitely adds to like the allure of it. Like even a small bull. Like I remember there's a guy in town that my stepdad knows, but he's got a big Euro mount in his like dining room. And he's like, yeah, I mean, it's really not that big, you know, like for the size. And I was just like, what, man, look at it. I mean, just look at it. I don't know. I don't ever want to get that way. Like I do, but I don't. I don't ever want to look at a 6x6 or, you know, and go, he's all right. You know? I don't want to get used to it.
For me, man.
I don't want to get used to it. Man. I want it to be a treat, man. Whenever I go and get one, I want it to be like, I just want to be in awe of it. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And I mean, he's probably been hunting probably forever, right?
Right. He sees lots of people kill lots of elk, and I mean that's cool. I mean, it's just a perception thing. It's nothing against him. It's just like just so
but
neat
I
to
hear
go
you.
out there. Yeah. So sorry, Friday night he comes in alone, no cows.
He comes in by himself. No, he's not screaming. He's quiet. It's like that phantom thing, man. He's just he's there. And I was like, that's him. That's him. He had this little growth off his main beam. It was weird, but he was awesome. And he comes in, he reads the script. He goes, I'm set up now. I'm in the blind. And I'm under 35. I think I ranged him. He's 33 to the wallow. And he comes in, and he had been coming in and kind of coming across it. So he'd been broadside to me, which had been like primo. But he came in, and I got super amped. I'm like, all right, sweet, draw. And so I draw, and I'm sitting there. I'm just holding it. And it's full frontal, and his front legs are down in the wallow. He's drinking. He's close enough. I can hear him like swallowing the water.
Going down his throat. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm like, I like whisper, I'm like with the guides over on the right. And I'm like, I'm going to let down. And he's like, don't let him see you. Cause he's literally looking straight at me. So he puts his head down. I let down. I like have to like compose myself because it's like, it felt, I don't know how long like actual duration was, but it felt so long. I'm like, I'm going to wait for him to come and turn. He's going to get down in that water. He's going to turn because he was doing it. It's just, I was in the wrong spot every day that week, those Monday, Wednesday when he came. So like, I just have to wait for that shot. So he drinks, goes down, goes broadside. And I'm like, this is perfect. Like, this is the perfect time to draw back. This is great. I draw back, put my pin on him. I'm holding, and I shoot. And I'm like celebrating in my head. I'm like, yeah, this is amazing. He's wallowing. Like, I shoot and he's like thrashing. And I just tuck that arrow too close to his scap. And he just, as he's coming back, man, he just, shoulder punch of all shoulder punches.
Yeah, just meat of it.
Dead center. Like no meat. It sounded like a home run off a wooden baseball bat.
Yeah.
And so I was like, instantly, I knew I was like, that it's over. Because the second it made contact, he turned and he just sprinted. He went through 2 trees, I'm assuming to like snap the arrow, and then he went straight 1,000 yards. I watched him 1,000 yards up the mountain. He gets all the way to the top. He looks back, and I'm like, he's good. He's fine. But my whole hunt's over. So we go down. We wait a second. We go down because it was getting. He came in early.
Yeah.
Like, it was awesome. It would have been awesome. You could go get him, pack him out, still have light. It was perfect scenario. It was kind of, bummer that it happened that way.
Yeah.
And go down, look for the arrow, no broken arrow, just no arrow, no blood. Go up a little bit. There's like drops, like little tiny droplets. And I'm like, mechanical broadhead. I'll never use mechanical broadhead out west again.
Man, I was just about to ask you about it
Well,
too.
where are you shooting? Yeah, what's the FOC? Yeah, we know. Hey, we appreciate you being like upfront with it too, because that's so tough, dude. That's like man, everyone's been there. Everyone's been there, and it's such a shit feeling, dude. It's awful.
It was awful. I remember I was sitting on the mountain. We tracked him. The guide was amazing. He tracked a single drop of blood for like a mile. We were up on the top of the mountain.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You got to. I mean, you owe it that.
He's like, you know what, man? He goes, I was trying to film it. He goes, I saw your shot. He goes, it was pure shoulder. He goes, he's a tank. He'll be fine. So I'm sitting on the mountain. I'm just like, man, I just felt bad. Like, you do all your training, you do all your shooting, you try to do your whole drills, you try to prepare. And then this guy was working, his butt off for a week.
Right.
He's right there sweating with me, you know what I mean? And perfect opportunity. He did everything right. And it comes down to me. And I just felt bad, like in a way that I hadn't felt, when you're hunting and you're by yourself, you're tree stand hunting and you make a miss. And you're like, well, I missed, but this, it's like I missed, and I missed for him too, basically. Like I missed.
Right. No, that's a lot of pressure too, man.
Yep.
That's a ton of stuff going on. I went on a streak, and me and Trey were talking about this a couple days ago, man. I went on a killing streak. I'm talking like pig after pig after pig after whitetail. I'm on fire. We go to Colorado for like the second time. First year we go, I got a shot at a bear. And I should have studied bear vitals a little more. And I've since watched hundreds of minutes of bear kill shots with a bow since then, just obsessing over that one shot. And I still don't think I did anything wrong on the bear, but man, elk season came around and you practice out to 60, 70 yards. I'm out in Dallas and I got a good range. I'm really on, man, multi-pin sight. Yeah. I step out from behind a tree to, straddling kind of behind this tree, awkward position. And I'm 17 yards, not even, I think it was like 16 yards or something from a cow. And I completely dick it, panic, just put the whole picture on the side of that cow and just shot. And it hit exactly where my top pin was, aiming, but I was crapping my pants, dude. And it was the worst feeling. Real high shot, like not spine, but like definitely not. I mean, I hope she made it, but like no penetration, just like, just shit, man. And you feel so awful after it. It's not good.
No, because that's not what we're doing. We're trying to do,
no.
We're trying to get food. We're trying to have it be quick, for multiple reasons.
And it's not like you didn't put the work in either. You know what I mean? Like, that's the bummer. A lot of people don't see is how the countless hours that you try to prepare because you want to be successful, and you don't want to go in the woods and do that. But anyway, that's a bummer, man. So we were listening to your prior podcast with somebody, and this is your redemption. You're going back. Same place.
Yeah. Same place, later. Same unit, bro.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Is
this
OTC or
same milk?
So no.
That'd be sick.
The elk, they actually found him like a couple miles off from where I hunted him. So he was intact. The guides actually got the head and everything, which I guess is cool. But no, he did die, and that made it worse. They called me and stuff. I found out, which made it worse. It's like reliving it over again.
Yeah, it's nice that though. I guess I don't know. I don't
know. That's true.
Do you know what he died from? Was it just didn't make it through the winter, or?
No, they didn't tell me. It probably was that. He probably. See, it's weird because I didn't feel like there was much penetration there. So I'm assuming maybe like infection.
Yeah.
And his wound got infected, and maybe he broke the arrow off, and then just like succumb to that, So that's why I just feel like there's just in that unit specifically, there's just like so much to do to kind of
reconcile with. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do it justice. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Man.
So when you was on your hunt in Mexico, did y'all move around a lot, or did y'all stay in like one central area?
So I was in one unit. So I think the tag was for one unit. And we moved around like as much as we could within that unit. So every morning when we were like chasing bugles and stuff, I was in a different spot every morning, which was cool. But every evening, just because we knew we were basically like putting him to bed, we knew he was there. I mean, he was there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hit that same spot. I hunted it. The guide was like, "It's call," and I said, "No, it's cool. That's perfect."
Yeah.
And so
that's
it
awesome.
was cool. It kind of reminded me of like whitetail when you check cams and you know what's on the property or you know what's coming through, and you're like, "That's a target buck." That's how it felt. It just felt like one bull, one mission. Now, if one thing happened on the mountain in a morning, then so be it. It wasn't like I wasn't drawing on animals in the morning, but it was in the back of your head. You
like,
saw him.
He's haunting you.
Yeah. He still is. That's the crazy thing that I don't know if, people really, outside of the industry or the sport, like really understand it. Like, you remember every story leading up to every single animal, good or bad.
No, it's impactful.
I think that's the one thing that people who don't hunt and who are outside the sport, they don't understand it. They think that we as hunters just go out and we just want to kill everything and we don't care about it, whatever. And it's like, no, like although we are taking an animal's life, we care about the animal. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
right.
It's a story and everything building up to it, and I think that's what draws me to it, at least anyway.
Yeah. No,
oh yeah.
And I still like there's some nights where I lay in bed and look at the ceiling, and I think about that elk that came in on us, Rex. So I'm like, what could we have done to like?
You get obsessive
to change it.
You get obsessive. It's like you try to think, like you think about, like, I'm sure you've now completely rethought. You've already said your mechanicals no more, so you've rethought your setup. You've rethought everything there was about it. You know what I mean? And
100%.
And that happens. Yeah. It drives you to just get better and do something different, that you're like, this didn't work, man. I can't do this anymore. It's just being light bulb, and you're like, it's such a powerful corrective kind of, I don't know, event.
Yeah,
in a way.
No, I completely agree. Yeah, I mean, like you guys were talking about broadheads, arrows, everything. I mean, even down to bow manufacturer, cam.
What are you shooting? What's your setup now? What are you going into? Trey's ready. He's a gear
right.
Man. He's a little freak. You look at him. Oh
God. So I this is like the first like kind of venture out into like a bow and gear like on my own. My father-in-law, I kind of got his like hand-me-down bows every year, so it's kind of nice,
Perfect.
Just go in like, hey, this will work great, and he got bows like almost every year, so it was nice. It was like something different. But so
relatively new. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like the first one might have been 6 years old, and then every other year it was like 2 years old or something. It was great.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Still brand new.
Hell yeah.
No,
by
put some
today's
strings on it.
Just about.
Yeah. So I went with that Matthews V3X, that 33, and I mean I absolutely love that thing. My draws like 30 and a half, maybe a smidge higher, but 30 and a half for all intents and purposes. And I was shooting 30 axle to axle bows that were like maxing at 30, and they had like
you're almost
angles.
Long draw. Yeah, you're up there, man.
So it was like
Trey's brother.
I didn't want to like, be like, well, it's a bow. I can't anchor in, but this bow is just so comfortable. I just felt so like at home at that platform. I've never shot anything that long, which isn't really that long, but it's good. So I'm shooting that. I'm shooting that UltraView UV3 XL 2 pins.
What is
that's that Chris B's site, isn't it?
Yeah. Chris and like Colby Hanley and those guys.
Yep.
Like a two-pin slider.
Yep, 2-pin, two fiber single pin on a slider. You just slap it on basically any bar, any sight bar you want.
You got it out there pretty far.
I am like 4 inches or so. I'm like kind of in the middle.
Yeah, nothing crazy. I liked having mine way out there, but at the same time, like, I mean, especially when you got so far, it was my peep. I couldn't really get a good size peep. I should have probably changed that, but anyway, gear.
No, I'm with
Keep going.
No, what else? I'm running. I got a couple sets of like stabilizers. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I've got a 15 and a 10, 15 on the front, 10 on the side from Quattro. Those I do really like those bars. And then a 12 and a 8 in case I do like a blind or something like that.
You got a field quiver. Do you run? You don't run one with on your bow. You just.
Oh no, I do. That's just for
3D.
range.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yep. So I'm gonna run. I have to test it still with Joe, my bow tech, but I can't use the bridge lock because I run out of right side adjustment, like windage adjustment, until Spot Hog they're making a bracket this year to
shift
conversely shift.
Yeah.
So I need to check the Matthews like low pro quiver, but that's the removable one is what I'm planning on running. Last year I ran a tight spot.
Gotcha.
And then arrows, I just built what I think is going to be my elk arrow. What I was shooting all off season was a Easton 4mm long range with just the regular aluminum
outsert.
Yeah, half out. And I like them. They're good. They're a little light probably unless you start messing with like collars and stuff, which I just didn't do just because it was going to be a target arrow.
Yeah.
But I got a dozen Black Eagles X Impacts. I don't know if you guys have used. I've never used them.
Yeah, I've never even heard of them.
Oh no, so they're supposed to be like pretty tight tolerances, but they're match grade, just like you can buy match grade Eastons. But when you roll them, it ends up being the same. There's a couple that I wouldn't put in a hunting quiver.
Did you do your spin test on them to kind of look at them and see anything out of whack
just check for wobble. Yeah, and it kind of helps like for front back cutting. Like, am I going to cut everything off the front, everything off the back?
You don't cut much off yours, do you? I mean, you're just about damn near full length. Yeah,
32.
They're 32, and I try to get the arrow as short as I can, just like barely off the shelf. So it's like these, because of the outsert, like throat to end of carbon, throat of nock to end of carbon is like 30 and a half.
Oh, okay.
So it almost matches exactly on that drawer. It does. Where the Eastons, I think, are just like a quarter inch shorter because they don't overlap the actual carbon quite as much as the Black Eagles. But I'm running like an 85 grain insert outsert combo that they have. It's called their like focus system or something, and just 100 grain head. So 185 on the front, and then a 3 fletch. I've been shooting 4s. I still have to test it, but the idea is I'm going to do these 3 fletch of these DCAs. Have you guys heard of those?
No.
So I think the guy's part of Dialed.
DCAs.
I think he's one of the Dialed engineers, but he made these. Cool. It's DCA is the company, and then they're called like Super Sabers. They're kind of weird looking. They look like this has a Rit fletch on it, but look like this.
Oh, they got a pretty interesting profile. Oh, okay, that's nuts.
So I guess
that's a helical. Oh no, is that cut? Oh, I see. Is that a helical or like a offset?
It is an offset. Yeah, I did basically 2.5 degree offset on that. I think those are, what are those? 7. They're like 7 point something, 7.3 grains. So do 3 of those, 2.5 degree offset to the right because the bow's clocking to the right with those strings, and they fly great. They fly really good. So I like them a lot. They're comparable GPI to the Eastons, and then total grain is like I think 505, 510. I got to double check it with the glue because I measure just components, but now they're built.
Dude,
so.
it's like building a round for a rifle. People get so ballistically involved with it now. It's so cool. It's super satisfying to like shoot something with something you made like that because like your gear, you're like, man, I put so much care into like you said, like spine testing, spin testing, measuring stuff. Like it's not the arrow, it's not the bow, man. It's you. You know what I mean? Like you want to get to the point where there's no question that everything has been, and that's again, it goes back to that obsessive nature of like a bow hunter or just any kind of hunter, really just wanting to get it done right,
Right.
I think that's my problem because I'll buy sites, I'll buy different releases, and it's like it's something. It can't be me. And it's like once I get everything checked out, it's like now I eliminated all the issues. Now I'm the only variable that I gotta worry about.
Exactly.
So, hey, have you got a chance to shoot the dialed sight with the dialed sight?
No, I thought about ordering their just the like their rod, their bar with the angled attachment.
Housing.
Well, actually, just the bar by itself, not even the housing, because I would just use an ultra view.
It's like a 20-degree angle, isn't it?
Yeah. It looks super nice. Like the finish looks super nice. The quality looks super nice. All the testing that people like Knights of the Apex, guys like that have Hacks and Hunt. They love it. I don't know. I would love to get my hands on one and see.
Yeah, I went to we have a Total Archery Challenge here in South Dakota, and I was out there this year. And they actually Scott, the CEO, he was actually at the booth, and we got to interview him and everything. And dude, it's a pretty slick site. It's a slick site, and they put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that they've listened to people as people are like they've got guys out there that are doing the thing. They're testing it, and they're like, this would be great. Micro windage would be great. A way to lock down windage would be great. They changed all of that. I love that you can swap the dials. I love that there's that void in that dial. I think is awesome. I love the finishes. I think anything Cerakoted is like just take my money, but
bulletproof.
No, I think those guys are awesome. I want to say, I hope I'm not wrong. I want to say the guy from DCA is one of their engineers.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's a small world, man.
Yeah,
the industry's small, dude. Everybody's everywhere.
It's crazy.
Have you got a chance to shoot at like one of the tech events?
No. Oh my gosh. So I wanted to go so bad. So we have, I guess, Michigan and Pennsylvania are the closest to me. The most beneficial for me would be going out west and like shooting in altitude and like shooting those steep cuts, and that's what I want to do. And since posting, so I've only been posting. I was telling Trey Rex, I've only been posting since like May. I've met so many cool people just through Instagram.
Yep.
So I have more invites for next year all over the place than I probably can afford. So I'm definitely doing something.
At least one.
Year.
Yeah. You should.
Yeah.
It's so much. Even if honestly, if you buy a ticket or whatever, you could have fun just going and shooting at the range, which is for free, dude. 3D targets out the ass. Like you get to go see the booths, like free coffee. Like it's sweet, man. I'd almost do that. Just go and shoot, like, and meet people. Like you don't even really have to course.
I drank so much Black Rifle coffee this year.
That's the thing, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, they're just giving them out. I'm like, you want one? Yep.
It's so cool to see so many people go to all these things, and you see these guys on like YouTube or like big dudes, John Dudley, and you see these guys and they're like larger than life, and then they're showing up and they're taking photos with people. It just looks I definitely got to go. It looks awesome.
John Dudley made me freeze up, man. Like he was
I bet, man.
Dude, he was doing a Q&A, and then afterwards you can get in line and talk to him, whatever. So I got my question in my head. I'm like talking to my brother. I'm like, we up next. And then I walk up and he's like, "What's your story?" I
forget.
I forgot, and we just got to talking, and he was talking about he used to play college football, and we related on that, and we talked for like 15-20 minutes, and I was like, "Yo, this dude's pretty cool."
That's what I keep hearing. He's a cool guy, like just down to earth.
Oh yeah. And Chris B was there, and he was with the guys that were taking the long shot at the caribou at the 111 yards this year.
Yeah, and I think I saw that. Was that his video he put up of that caribou?
Yeah, they were all shooting at it at the same time. Yeah, that was in South Dakota.
That's sick. Yeah, Chris is awesome too, man. I'd love to meet these guys.
And they're just all out walking around. I mean, it's not like when you think about, in our world, they're like celebrities, you know what I'm saying, in the archery world.
Yeah.
But when you think about like celebrities in like the movie industry or whatever, you can't walk up on them and talk to them. They got bodyguards around. attack, these guys are walking around because they're out there just shooting and chilling.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you want to talk? Let's talk. You want to have a beer? Let's have a beer. It's like,
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
that is awesome. No, that's awesome.
Oh yeah. So
Well,
before we got here, I want to ask you about your bodybuilding. So,
Yes.
or do you compete like in the IFBB, or it's just all just for personal gains?
Yeah, just personal. So my brother-in-law, so the guy, my father-in-law, his youngest son, competes, and so I train along him. I eat what he eats sometimes when he's doing a prep. It just depends on what year and like if he's doing a show. But for me, it's like just lifestyle and like that classic like training style, that training scheme.
Yeah.
I just love it. I don't know why I never got into like CrossFit or anything. All the compound, like all the Olympic lifts and stuff kind of freak me out a little bit.
yeah, no.
Or something.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
Trey, I
but-
mean, that's all you did, Trey, right? Was Olympic. Y'all did nothing but Olympic lifts getting ready for football, right?
Yeah,
Like that
SAU, man, that terrible, man. We was just all Olympic lifts. It was just
it's all about
too much.
technique, and if people
Yeah.
want you to get weight up real quick, and you're just like, man, this is. I mean, if you don't have it correct, you know what I mean. There's no reason to bump up, and it's nuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrible form. People getting injured. It's like, yeah. Let's not do that. I don't like this.
Right. No, but it looks like insane, like from a in shape perspective. I'm like, these guys have to be like in the best shape.
Yep.
Because their cardio is insane. They could do the air bike, the assault bike, like crazy. Then they're doing kip ups or doing burpees. Like functionally, it's probably a lot better than what I'm doing for like mountain type stuff. But I just love like that, just classic bodybuilding, like training. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never gotten away from it.
If you were to give a flatlander like me that doesn't, man, I can't. I mean, I used to lift a little bit at SEU for fun. I got into it a little bit. I'm just now getting back into fitness. I've always played, soccer or pick up something and done some kind of cardio. But if you could give me a tip so I don't die on the mountain, you know what I mean? What's a basic like couple things that I should do you could talk nutrition. You could talk exercise. What would you do if you could only pick a few things to really hammer on for somebody like like me, a poor soul like me?
I think so. I noticed with nutrition, really focusing nutrition was like a turning point for me. It was like I was in the gym, I was always lifting a lot more than I am now, even. Like I swear I was in there 7 days a week, and I just wasn't seeing a lot of like progress in those areas.
And like you're talking about in strength or like bulk, anything really that you're after.
More like more in like bulk and like aesthetic. So if I was trying to grow in an area or like fix like a weak point, like
right.
From a look perspective, like I just wasn't seeing it.
Yeah.
So nutrition, actually my wife does she has a whole macro coaching
plugger, go
company.
Instagram handle.
the Skinny on Fitness.
The Skinny on Fitness.
Yep. And she works with like the majority of like the clientele is like, working moms, business professional, like women for the most part that are, just looking to do like whatever they need to do, from whether it's reverse diet because their metabolic rate is kind of like thrashed from being at 1,100 calories for 4 years, because that's, they think like cut calories, cut weight. Or it's like from a training perspective, how do I supplement, food and the right diet for the time I'm trying to put in the gym, things like that. So with her, it's nice. I can bounce a lot of at least initially, she taught me my macros, my Fitness Pal, how to use it. And ever since then, I mean, that's been like the cornerstone, and that's so nutrition number one. And
that's where you see the most gain, maybe, or the most impact, I guess. Okay.
Just because it affects everything. So like, your intake of fat will affect your natural hormone levels. Protein will stabilize your blood sugar immediately. Like there's things that would be helpful in the mountain. Like, well, should I slam like this little Debbie, or should I slam this trail jerky or something? Like there's things that will make you feel better faster. So I think like a baseline understanding of like, what does what can sometimes be like killer. And then other times it's pretty natural. You're just craving what you need. Salt. I need salt,
right. Wow.
Spam.
Spam, see? You got spam, you got So I know.
So nutrition, you would say, is top, like whether it's from just being informed about what certain things do with your body to just feeling better and maybe being able to train more, maybe able to train, just kind of how it affects you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Train more, maybe you have better output on the mountain. I think like lifts wise, I don't think there's anything wrong with deadlifts, especially if you're going to be packing stuff out. So deadlifts is good, nice compound movement. I don't know if you guys can hear that. My dog's going crazy. But she's like, I don't know if she's barking at this door or not. So deadlifts. And then for flatlander guys, like I just say like hammer your legs as best you can, build up your legs, do cardio, but like, I don't think you need to, I guess it depends. I guess I don't want to generalize. Somebody like me, I would benefit much more
generalize.
from doing like the stair mill or, hitting the stair mill versus doing like a 5-mile run or something like that. But still like a mile run might be beneficial for me, but it's all within like your caloric like need and like how much you're burning and for what you need. But yeah, I think that's probably
perfect.
Those are probably
so
cornerstones.
Got to go follow the Skinny on Fitness and get hooked up with your macros and learn as much as you can.
Exactly.
Sounds like what I need to do. And then I'm already doing the running, man. The running's tough, dude. It's tough, but you got to just do it, man. Just get out there and make a habit of it.
That's it,
and it's
man.
Always better for it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm looking forward to getting cold. I'm so excited.
It's coming, man. It's we're a month away from the season, so September's pretty hot here, and then October it starts cooling off. November we're in it, so I can't wait.
Yep. No, it's gonna be awesome, man. It's right around the corner.
Well,
Joe, man, we really appreciated you coming on the show, taking time out of your day. I was hoping, is it still daylight there?
Y'all got some great back.
So maybe you'll be able to get out and do some shooting.
Right, get out there and just sling a few. Yeah.
Right, man. But babe, before we get out of here, man, let people know where they can find you on all social media platforms. Yeah,
so it's Joe Goubeaux, which is my name, but spelled super weird on Instagram. It's JEAUX and then Goubeaux, which is GOUBEAUX. And that's on Instagram. I think it's the same on YouTube, but I'm mostly on Instagram right now.
Oh yeah. When I saw your name before, I saw you from Ohio. I thought you was a Cajun boy down there in the bayou.
I get that like all the time, dude. Like, so my dad's side's French. They came over, like great grandfather or something came over from France. They came in through Louisiana.
Nice.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's probably some Cajun blood in there somewhere, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To
go out west, you gotta be a little crazy.
A little nuts.
Coming from the east. Yeah, you do have to just a little bit. But yeah, Joe, it's nice to meet you, man. Thanks for the tips. I'm for real. I'm about to start hitting it up because I just don't know what to do. I just need to study it a little bit more. And just get to know it. I'm sure it can only help. So.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, thanks guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and let us know about TAC. Need to get hooked up on one of these TAC trips too. Trey's trying to go to every one of them next year.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to every one, Nick. At least two. At least two.
There you go. Close. All right, I'm down with that. Yeah,
for sure. Okay. Well, hey guys, this has been another exciting episode of the Dreaded Archer Podcast, and we are out.